Hi guys, it's Rike and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rike and I review a lot of activewear. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you just keep watching. Today I have a top 5 video for you. It's been a hot minute since I've done a top 5. If you're curious to see all my other top 5 videos, I can just link the playlist up here. And if you're wondering what is this top 5, I pick a topic. Today we were talking about shorts, thick thigh friendly shorts. And I will show you my top 5 favorite pieces basically in that category. So today I'm going to show you my top 5 favorite thick thigh friendly shorts. And yeah, like I said, I've done other videos like this for like all kinds of things, sports bras, leggings, loungewear, everything you could think of. So you could just go through that playlist and find my favorites. Yeah. But usually when I do this top 5, I'll show you one negative example and then we'll go into the top 5 in order from top like number 5 to number 1. And just know because something is in spot 5 doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's like it made it into my top 5 because I've tried a lot of different shorts. Same as I've tried a lot of different leggings and all that kind of stuff. So usually when something makes it into the top 5, it is pretty good. It is sound. Otherwise I wouldn't put it in there. I might have just made a top 3 instead, you know? But anyway, we're talking about thick thigh friendly shorts today. It is summer, shorts are out and about and, you know, sometimes the legging is just too warm for the gym. And I feel a little self-conscious sometimes about my legs. So I don't really like to wear shorts too much, but if I do wear them, I really want them to be thick thigh friendly. I want them to be comfortable. And also over the past years, I've tried to like get myself to wear shorts more and more because it's also just a little bit more comfy when it's so warm. And I've definitely found a few good favorites. Previously, it had always been really hard for me to find some that were good for my thick thighs and my smaller waist that would still like, you know, not be too loose around the waist while fitting the thighs. But if you have the same issue, you should definitely continue watching this video because yeah, this is all we're talking about today. I'm going to show you my top 5 favorites, but as I mentioned, we'll start with a negative example. And our negative example today is a short from Popflex Active. This is a long time ago that they made this, and I really like the pattern. Like, look at this, it's like the moon and the stars in this beautiful terracotta red. But they're super short. They have these grippies on the side and they were just so tight around the thighs. Not good at all. So yeah, while I liked the idea of these and like the V waistband here, we don't have a front seam either, you know, and like a slightly curved glute seam here in the back as well. And we do have pockets. They just did not work for me. And I don't want to spend too much time on these because, you know, they're not our main focus today. So let's just see them on and get it done with. Here's our first pair of shorts. Yeah, so we have those silicone grippies, but honestly, they don't do very much because the shorts are just too short if you have thicker thighs, like at least on me. And I know on a lot of other people, these like constantly like roll up, move around, even though they do have the silicone there. So yeah, you have those grippies here at the, you know, at the seam here on the inside. And it's actually a lot of them, but it just doesn't stay. And that is simply the length of it. I also do feel like they are cutting in a little bit because they're so short. It makes it like a little bit easier, I feel like, to hit like a thicker part of the thigh, basically. Otherwise, I do like the waistband, right? And there's actually like a little bit of space in the waistband because it's not like, you know, I'm a small up here, but like this is definitely medium. So there's that. We don't have a front seam, no top seam. And because the crosswise, it has this, right? And I also do like the pattern. I do like the color. Of course, because the print and it's printed on a lighter color, it's pulling a little bit sheer here in the back, which I personally don't mind. That's just how prints go. But yeah, these are just not like thick thigh friendly shorts because of the length and the silicone grips. I feel like are just making things worse instead of better with this. I don't know. It's just not for me. I haven't worn these a lot because, you know, like you can see I was just doing this and they're rolling up. So yeah, and that's not what we want. I want like shorts that are staying in place, that are, you know, not cutting in too much, they're not uncomfortable to wear. And yeah, I like them up here, but this just too short. And the silicone stuff doesn't do anything. There's too much cutting in. And yeah, let's move on to something better. Okay, let's move into the top 5. And we have our number 5 spot. We do have these shorts from Pursue Fitness. They are a seamless short, and these are the Adapt 2.0 seamless shorts. The color is petrol blue, but they also do have, I think, let me check, like 9 colors in total to choose from. And it is a wonder that any seamless short even made it into these top 5. So these are definitely my top seamless shorts. Although they also do make some other really good seamless shorts that are thick thigh friendly. So like in general, you know, let's say in general, Pursuit Fitness shorts are like the best seamless shorts that I've tried so far for thick thighs. A lot of times seamless shorts will be way too tight around the legs always because they have this band here at the end. This one still has the band at the end, but it is not too tight. It is actually like fits well. It is great. So in general, all the seamless shorts that I've tried so far, I would definitely approve as thick thigh friendly. I just picked these because they're like their most basic. As in, like, the Adapt line is what they started out with. This is Adapt 2.0, an update to it now. I never tried the original Adapt, but I did, you know, I did try the original Adapt, like, leggings, and they definitely, like, the material is better now. So if you're looking for thick thigh-friendly seamless shorts, try Adapt 2.0 or any of the other newer styles. But yeah, petrol blue, like, super, super pretty. We do have this ribbed band here at the top, a white waistband, no front seam, and then just some ribbed detailing. In some colors, this might be like a contrasting color. It goes around here. And then, you know, just like the thicker band here at the end. And in the back is just like some detailing here in the waistband, some of this ribbed detailing here in the back as well. And it's not too much glute detailing. There's not really much happening here. You do have a fake seam in the back for a little bit of glute separation, but also no scrunch or anything. I personally don't really like the seamless scrunches anyway, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, these are like some really, really good basic shorts that are thick thigh friendly and they're seamless. It doesn't even look like they would be so thick thigh friendly because I don't think it flares out a lot at the bottom here, but trust me. I mean, you'll see it on as well. The material is a little thicker, but not too thick. Provides, you know, good coverage as well. And overall, what is it made from again? Let me double check, see if I can find the tag here. This one is made from 70% nylon, 20% polyester, and 10% spandex. So yeah, these are great seamless shorts for thick thighs. Let's see them on. All right, these shorts, despite being seamless shorts, check all the right boxes. They have a great length. They don't really move when I move. And a lot of times with seamless shorts, like it's for me really common to not like be able to wear them really because this band, the seamless band here at the edge is way too tight, but you can see there's still a little bit of stretch there. Yes, you get a little bit of like a dent at your thighs, but that's just normal. It's not uncomfortable. And again, there's still a little bit of extra stretch there. And yeah, all the Pursue Fitness shorts are like this, or all of the seamless shorts. I think, do they have others? Yeah, I guess they have like sweat shorts, like the, you know, lounge shorts basically, but all their seamless shorts, at least the ones I've tried, and I think I've tried like 3 different lines, they're all like this. They all fit well for thick thighs, and that has been a revelation for me, because truly, before that, every time I tried seamless shorts, it was just like so much cutting off circulation, that I was like, I'm never gonna try that again. But like these, perfect. We do have this wide ribbed waistband. You can see it's nice and high-waisted. Gives a little bit of compression as well, despite being the medium and me having a smaller waist. Still works, no gaping here in the back either. You also don't, of course, have no front seam here. And then in the back, there is a fake glute seam here, a fake seam to separate the cheeks a little bit more. And of course, if you wanted to, you could probably shove some fabric in there, you know, to get a little bit more separation. I just don't like that personally. It's just not my thing, so I don't do it. And then this style has like this ribbed side detailing here. I hope you can see it. And it's just like really not too much. It's just something there. It has a little bit of a texture to it as well. We do have a Pursue Fitness logo here. And then of course, same detailing here on this side. And it doesn't really do underglute contouring or anything. It's really just on the sides there. It feels good. It doesn't really restrict or anything. And some of their other styles, I feel like they're all like very simple. There's never too much happening. Some of their other styles definitely do have a little bit of an underglute contour. So if you would prefer that, you could also try that. But yeah, this is like kind of the first style they ever released. And since then they've also updated this fabric. So I think this is 2.0. of that line because the fabric definitely has become a little bit softer, a little bit stretchier. I also tried their stuff the first time they launched this, and then the fabric was over a little bit more like stiff, a little bit more compressive. Still good, but like the 2.0 was very good. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, we have our number 4 spot, and we do have the Popflex Active Cargo Shorts here. So these come in different lengths. You have the cargo booty shorts, the cargo Midi shorts, and then I think there's also cargo biker shorts. I specifically am talking about the Midi shorts here. I personally prefer a 5 or 6 inch inseam, so the Midi shorts fall in that category, whereas the booty shorts are definitely shorter, the biker shorts are a little bit longer. Now, they do have other Midi shorts as well that I haven't tried, so I can't speak for those. But I would assume that they would also be thick thigh friendly. But yeah, the cargo ones definitely are. They do come in one other color, I just double checked. But yeah, when I bought these, they were only coming in black, so this is why I have black. We do have, not really, it doesn't look like it's flaring out too much, but the leg hole is quite wide. And then you can see there's a lot of stretch, not too much tightness from the seam around the leg hole here. So definitely speaks for it being thick thigh friendly. And we do have a lot of seams going on here because we do have this drawstring. I hope you can see it because it's black. It's a little bit harder to see. Maybe if I open this a little bit here. But yeah, we do have a drawstring at the top, which is why they're called the cargo shorts. You can actually tighten the waist a little bit, which is also nice and handy if you have a smaller waist like I do. So this is actually also what they recommend for being an hourglass figure or like having thicker thighs, thicker legs, bigger booty, and the smaller waist to just use their cargo styles because you can tighten the waistband. Otherwise, we don't have a top seam here. And then yeah, it's just one seam, another seam to hold in the waistband strings, the drawstrings here, and then there's another seam here. We do have pockets on these as well. So you have 2 side pockets that are pretty spacious here. So actually like my hand fits in and like, you know, my wrist as well. And then in the back, you do have this heart-shaped glute detailing here, glute seam detailing, little Popflex logo off to the side. I always find that placement a little bit odd. I just prefer it in the middle. But yeah, heart-shaped glute detailing here, so nice V, and that is that. So these shorts, yeah, I've had them for a while. The material is soft and brushed. It's made from 78% polyester and 22% spandex. I will also say that I've tried the same style in a legging, and the legging just felt much, much tighter in the same size. So I'm not sure exactly why that was. But these shorts are pretty good. They're thick thigh friendly. They work well. And yeah, let's just see them on. Here are our shorts with a drawstring. So this is definitely, you know, somewhat unique to this lineup of shorts to have a drawstring. But in general, I think these are the only non-lounge shorts. Of course, lounge shorts, like, you know, sweatpants, but short, do have drawstrings quite frequently. But I'm talking about like more like, you know, active gym shorts, basically. So yeah, I feel like this is very, very unique to that. Also, of course, this is black, so it's a little bit hard to see all the detailing. I know that, I'm sorry. But yeah, I felt like I should show these to you. I will say I don't know about any of the other shorts, especially because while having this on, right, I realized again that I find this very loose around my waist. But thankfully, we do have the drawstring. However, if you took any of the other short styles and you do have thicker thighs and a smaller waist, you might find it still too loose around the waist while it fits your your thighs perfectly. So the cargo shorts, of course, have the advantage of having this drawstring that you can just tighten, but yeah, without it, it's just like, there's like some like folding or like, you know, some just fabric gathering, because it is a lot. I do like how high-waisted they are though, so also very high in the back, but of course, yeah, you can see there's basically zero compression for me in the waistband. So it's nice to be able to tie this. I kind of, like, of course, this only ties, like the drawstring is not very wide, right? So it's not the same amount of compression as you would get from like a properly fitting waistband, but it still like helps keeping things up. Like these are not gonna slide down now because this drawstring is gonna keep them up, which is also good for pockets, because if you have a legging or a pair of shorts that is just too loose or doesn't have any compression, you put heavy stuff into the pockets, like everything's gonna slide down. Here maybe the legs are gonna come down a little bit, but you can see I'm actually pulling a lot, like this stays because of the drawstring now. So that is pretty handy. Otherwise, yeah, these do come in like different lengths. And this is the Midi length, which is a 5-inch inseam, I believe. And this is kind of, you know, what I like. There are no grippies on the side, I like on the inside here, not like those other Popflex active shorts, the short ones, but they're also not needed here. Like they do move slightly, but like they don't fold over for me. They stay put as much as possible. We don't have a front seam. You also don't really have a top seam here, which I guess, you know, is fine because it's too loose up here anyway. So good that they didn't put one there, because it would have been pointless. And yeah, we have those deep pockets. So, oh, my phone is down here. You can definitely put a telephone in there and it's gone. There's actually space for a bigger one for sure. So these pockets are definitely very spacious, which is, I guess, kind of unique to have like such spacious pockets in these types of shorts, especially because the shorts are shorter, right? Like, how do they do this? But they're nice and wide as well, so that also helps. Sometimes you have very narrow pockets and then like you still can't fit stuff in even though the pockets are maybe deep, but here they're just like, you know, rectangular basically. But yeah, it's not super tight. Like I think these fit nicely around here. The material itself is very stretchy. Actually, when I got these, I feel like I also did have, or did I order a pair of leggings, or did I have the pair of leggings already? I don't know. But these also come in leggings. And then I tried on the leggings in the same size and they were just so tight and I was shocked. So I don't know what the problem was. But the sizing might be a little bit unreliable, unfortunately. For these now, it's perfect. It works fine in my normal short size medium. But yeah, can't speak for other things. And then we do have the Popflex Active logo here. And yeah, just kind of mainly, I mean, the glute seams are a little angled, right? You do have a proper seam in the back as well. And the fabric feels really nice and stretchy. Not too thick, not too thin. Yeah. So these are actually good shorts. Also very functional. I feel like you could go hiking in these or something if you want the side pocket, right? For like some snacks or just having your phone in there reachable or something. I think these would be pretty good for that as well. Let's move on. Okay, on to number 3. We have the Gymshark Whitney shorts from this year's drop in this nice blue color. So these are also a nice 6-inch inseam. They are thick thigh friendly because you can see they kind of like have again a wider leg opening here. They're very stretchy. The seam is also not tight around here, so that is perfect. And they also do have a lot of other fun detailing. I do like the Whitney leggings in general. I'm very happy that Gymshark is continuously bringing those back in new colors. And I recently reviewed these actually together with the leggings and some sports bras that matched in color. I can link that video up there, so you can go check that out. So these are high-waisted. We have like a slight top seam. I was gonna say we don't have a top seam, but there's a slight top seam. It's not super tight or anything. It's not gonna create like a muffin top or any cutting in. And then we do have this double seam detailing around here. I will say the seam work is not as clean as I kind of want it to be. No front seam. And then in the back, you do have, again, this double seam detailing with a slight V. And then we do have this invisible scrunch. So what does that mean? You can currently see it's scrunched up. On the inside, it is like, with the seam here, but it stretches out. So once you put it on, like this, it's not going to be a scrunch look anymore. It's just, however, helps to really kind of get in between the glues to really give you that proper shape. It's not as uncomfortable as like a seamless scrunch, for example, because it is not tight, so you will not feel it being tight. It stretches with you and moves and everything. It just gives you, a little bit more separation, basically. That's all it's there for. And all the Whitney bottoms have this, basically. Yeah, I was very, very happy when I tried these on. I thought they were going to be shorter shorts, but they are a great length and thick thigh friendly. And the material itself could be a little bit nicer, but it is still pretty nice. It is very lightweight, slightly brushed, a little cool to the touch. But yeah, it's just, the material doesn't feel as luxurious as some other materials from upcoming shorts. So that's that. And let's see it on. On to this more recent discovery of the Whitney shorts. At least this style of the Whitney shorts. Because I feel like there had been shorts in one of those Whitney Simmons X Gymshark collections before, but they were definitely different. Anyway, this is a fun little blue. And at first when I ordered these, I thought these were like super short shorts, and I was kind of disappointed. And then, I tried them on the video. And I was like, oh no, wait, they're actually longer. And if I haven't linked this video yet, I can actually link that Gymshark video up here. Anyway, so the material is very lightweight. We do have an ultra high waist, so you can see my natural waist is kind of down here, so they might be rolling a tad, but you can also, of course, pull them down a little bit more or something. But yeah, ultra high waist, which I personally like. Some people don't, but I personally like it. We don't have a front seam, and we do have an very slight top seam, so it's not like cutting in too much or anything. And then we do have this double seam detailing, which is like the kind of most, this is the detail that has always been on the Whitney leggings as well. No side seam here, so very, very simple. We do have a little tone in Tone Gymshark logo, and then in the back, this double seam turns into this little bit of a V-glute detailing, proper seam in the back. And this was the invisible scrunch. Now you don't see the scrunch anymore. However, it really just helps with getting, the fabric a little bit more in between the cheeks, gives you a little bit more cheek separation. So that's nice. And I also always feel like when they do have scrunches, it's just shorter in the back for some reason. So it's still a good length in the back, don't get me wrong, like the cheeks are here, right? So it's still covering them fully and a little bit. But I just feel like they're a little bit longer at the front. I don't know, maybe it's just a feeling. Hard for me to tell, when I look at the little screen. And I also feel like they are a little bit longer in the middle, which I personally don't mind, because this is kind of the part where it's most important to get this coverage, right? So you don't get the thigh chafing and stuff like that. But yeah, I can move. They don't really roll or anything. They stay put. Again, no silicone grippies on the inside necessary for this, because the length does it. And then the back also is flattering. And you can see. It's just a good, decent pair of shorts. And I don't know, I don't have much else to say about this, I think. So let's move on. Moving on to number 2. This is a pair of shorts from Petula. Petula does a lot of good shorts, so in general, I feel like their shorts are definitely thick thigh friendly. I also have a few others. I just picked these ones because it's a fun color, and you can currently get this particular color still in a lot of sizes for just $26, so US. There you go. These are the Bear 2. No, I forgot the name. So I just looked it up to be so prepared. But anyway, these are the Bear 2 contour shorts. They launched last summer. I also did like the leggings that launched. I got those leggings in like a purple and a light blue color, and I got the shorts in this cherry slush color. Again, you can still get that one. So I got these in my normal size medium, but they were definitely like a little large, so you could size down if you're in between, even with the thicker thighs. I, however, still, like the fit. So I'm sticking with my medium. These are 6-inch short. They also did come in 4 inches, but as I previously mentioned, for my thicker thighs, I prefer a 5 or 6-inch inseam because simply then they're not riding up as much as a 4-inch inseam. A 4-inch inseam is guaranteed to just roll up. The 5 or 6 inches usually don't do that. So this is made from their Bear fabric. I do have, as I mentioned, a few other Bear pieces and Bear shorts as well that I really, really like. So if this particular short is not your favorite color, but you still want to try some of this, just go for any other Bear shorts in 5 or 6-inch inseam and you'll be perfectly fine because they're always thick thigh friendly. These particular ones are made from 88% polyester and 12% spandex. They do have a very, very high waist, so I think a lot of people were complaining about this being too high-waisted. I personally loved this high-waistedness. It's like ultra high-waisted, basically. Again, a double seam detailing, very, very often seen in activewear. We don't have a top seam, no front seam. And then in the back, again, double seam detailing for this V glute detailing. It's slightly different than the one we saw on the Gymshark shorts, but we still have this double seam, and then you do have a Tone and Tone Petula logo here in silicone, a proper seam in the back, and that is kind of that. Here you can also see, again, a wider leg hole, a lot of stretch to this. At some point, the seam is a little bit noticeable, but it takes a long time for that to happen. And the material itself is super stretchy, very, very, very soft. It has a slight cottony feel. So definitely not something I would pick for a very sweaty workout because it takes a little bit longer to dry. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, like the Bear fabric is super soft. Everything is thick thigh friendly. And let's just see these on. Onto our Petula shorts here. So these are like so stretchy, so comfy. Like it's incredible. I feel like for these particular ones, I could have also sized down. A lot of people are saying they fit very big, but otherwise all their shorts are like, a really good fit for me in my normal short size medium. This particular style was just a little bit bigger fitting, but they're also all very thick thigh friendly. And that is what we're talking about today. So these ones, very high waisted as well, no top seam. And we also do have this double seam detailing that we just saw on those Whitney leggings, Whitney shorts, of course, because it's a shorts video. Otherwise, they have a good length. This is a 6-inch inseam. There's tons of stretch still here available, even though we do have a seam at the bottom. So, lots of space for the thighs, everything. And not any detailing here on the side, nothing there, very, very simple. And in the back, you do have this, double seam glute detailing again with a V and a proper seam in the back as well. That also goes a little bit more in between the cheeks, and you could make that happen a little bit more if you wanted to. But overall, these are super comfy. Like, I would also wear these for lounging. In fact, I also do wear these for lounging because these are just so comfy. I feel like anything in the Bear fabric, I also do have another pair of shorts in the Bear fabric that I also do wear for lounging. Like, that could just be like perfect lounge shorts if you're looking for some that are not like the sweat shorts or something, but you're actually looking for like more of a tighter fitting short. Those always work for lounging, even with the thicker thighs, because there's, lots of space, lots of room for all that. But yeah, let's move on. Last but not least, we are on to our number one spot here. And a little drum roll, please. Our number one, top one thick thigh friendly shorts are, you probably, if you've watched some of my videos, you might know already what's coming, but we have the 6-inch legacy shorts from Buffbunny collection. They are such a staple for me. I do have a whole bunch of color. I decided to show you party purple today. Not sure if you can still get that one color, but they consistently bring out new colors in this. And they're also consistently selling out quite fast because they're so good. So they're also, the legacy leggings are some of my favorite leggings for sure. And then when they made this short version in 6-inch length, I was like, yes, this is totally me. By the way, if you think 6 inches is too long for you, they also do make 4 inches in these. So just saying, I've tried them, but they still roll up on me. But the 6 inches are perfect for me. Yes, so let's talk about why these shorts are so good. First of all, the material, a little bit thicker, a medium compression, I would say, slightly brushed, or not just slightly, it is double brushed. Very, very soft, still sweat wicking, and quick drying. We do have this high waist here. A wide waistband, no top seam, no front seam. Then you do have a side seam detail, so just one seam going down all the way. And then in the back, we have this triple seam glute detailing. So it's not just a double seam, it is a triple seam. And it really helps also to make these leggings stay up, especially for me when I go for the medium, right, with these for my thighs. It's nice to have that triple seam detailing because it really, keeps just the waist a little bit tucked in a little bit better than if we didn't have the triple seam detailing. You have the little Buffbunny logo here. Now they do make tone-to-tone silicone logos. So this one is from last year, but they hadn't done that yet. Or is it from 2 years ago? Might even be 2 years ago. Proper seam in the back. And that is it. And then, of course, most importantly, the little leg hole, they're kind of like, you can kind of see they're a little bit wider here and a lot of stretch to this as well. I also just noticed there's a little bit of dirt on here. What did I do with these? I definitely washed them, but maybe, I took them on a trip to Canada. So who knows? I was hiking and everything. I don't know. Barely noticeable. But anyway, yeah, very, very thick thigh friendly. They stay put. I love the color. I love how high-waisted they are. I like the triple seam glute detailing. The material is perfect. Let's just see these on. And here are my favorites. Is the fabric. I love the fabric the most of all the shorts I've shown you today. I love the fit the most, the detailing. They just got it all. But it's just like, these are just the best of the best when it comes to thick thigh friendly shorts. So again, nicely high-waisted, no top seam and no front seam. These do have a side seam, just one little side seam, because the leggings that, these are kind of part of, because, the leggings are the longer version of this, also do have a side seam. The side seam that then splits up around the knee and then goes down. But of course, here we only have the one little seam. And then in the back, we have this beautiful triple seam glute detailing. And I feel like, because, sometimes with some of those shorts, because they're medium to fit the thighs, like the waist is not like as compressive. This waist is still not as compressive, but because of this triple seam glute detailing, I feel like it just kind of fitting a little bit better in the back here, in the back of the waist. So that's what I like about this as well. And it's of course very flattering, and I just like that detailing in general. And then we do have a proper seam in the back here as well. But yeah, thick thigh friendly, not really any cutting in, still a little bit of extra space. I will say that I have, I think, one color, which is a darker color, that fit a little bit tighter, but it still works. So, sometimes the colors can change the fit a little bit. This one fits perfectly. Most of them fit perfectly. And I also did wear these for hiking quite a lot, like different colors. But I've definitely worn these during the summer. When I was in Canada in July once, I actually did have a proper tan line around this, length here. And I was wearing like all the different colors that I had like during the hikes and stuff because it was just too warm for leggings. I also do wear these for lounging sometimes, although I think I do prefer the Petula Bear shorts for lounging. Just saying that, but like these are just, I don't know, they're just perfection because the fabric, certainly the best out of the whole pile. So yeah, and of course, when I move. Nothing moves. So that's also good. No silicone grip is necessary. And they're just perfect. Let's move on. It's conclusion time. Here is the little perfect pile of thick thigh friendly shorts. I also really tried to show you a variety of colors because I love colors. So I hope you appreciated that. And yeah, I mean, conclusion, I don't really need to do many conclusions for this video because the top 5 is the conclusion itself. I ranked my top 5 favorite thick thigh friendly leggings. As I said, I do have more leggings. Shorts. And as I said, I do have more shorts in this, so if something is in the top 5 spot, it doesn't mean it's a terrible short. It just means it made it into the top 5. So you'd be honestly happy about any of these shorts if you were to try some of them. If you have thick thighs, you'll find all of these should be working for you. Yeah, let me know which one is your favorite if you've tried any of these before. And also, of course, if you know of any more thick thigh friendly shorts, do let me know. Show me the way because I'm happy to try out more of these because this is what I reach for. 5 or 6 inches, thick thigh friendly, high waisted. This is what I want from a pair of shorts. And honestly, also, I sometimes wear these for lounging at home, for doing some of my yard work when it's too warm, you know, nice little high socks still and proper shoes because you need to be safe when you're mowing the lawn and stuff like that. We don't want any ticks, but sometimes it's just too warm to put on long pants. So I just throw on a pair of shorts and off in the garden I go. But yeah, let me know which one was your favorite and if you've tried any of these before. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, also suggestions for other top 5 videos, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I feel like also I need to do some updates to some of those top 5s because it's been a few years for some of them, for sure, for some of those topics. I have accumulated more leggings, more shorts, more sports bras, more loungewear since then. So things might need an update. Do let me know if you're curious to see any updated top 5 videos. Yeah, if you want to, you can also follow me on Instagram, see some of the pieces in action there and DM me there, but I'm more likely to see your comments here on YouTube. So if there's ever anything you want me to respond to, do drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel so you get notified about all the new videos that are coming out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful and informative. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.